So this morning, the message is going to be focused on mothers. It just happened to time out that way. It worked out really good. However, I do believe the general principles of it can apply to everyone, so don't check out on me just yet. But we can all admit that moms are a special breed. And I mean that in a good way. A dad will raise up their son, teach him everything about sports, the proper stance to field the ball, the way to hold your hands when the ball comes at you, where to look when you're throwing, how to coordinate shooting the basketball if you're fading away, aim for the back of the rim if you're leaning forward, going straight up, aim for the front of the rim, all the kind of specific details of those things. And then this young boy will grow up and will have a terrific game in college, and the TV station and the news anchor go running over to them, and they throw a mic in their face, and the first thing that comes out of their mouth is, "Hi, Mom!" And then Dad, Moms are very amazing creatures. They really are. And they hold so many job titles. I did a quick search and came up with a couple different titles for the mom. For example, you'll be getting a list up there. The mom is an executive housekeeper, an executive chef, a daycare teacher, facilities manager, a network administrator, a psychologist, a janitor, a taxi driver, a laundry manager, a chief executive officer, maintenance supervisor, groundskeeper, interior design, logistics analyst, plumber, staff nurse. She's a personal shopper, an athletic trainer, photographer, social media marketing manager, academic advisor, recreational therapist, coach, tailor, tax accountant, judge, school teacher, nutritionist, computer operator, and office administrator. And that's just on Monday. Now, according to the website salary.com, yeah, that actually exists, if you tried to put a paycheck on all the work a stay-at-home mom does, it would come out to be about 106 hours a week and nearly $185,000 a year. And all the moms say, that's it? So how do we say thank you to one of God's most amazing creations, and how do we do it just one day a year? Now, I know many of you have already gotten the mother in your life a gift. You might have already presented it this morning. For me, I'm waiting till this afternoon to give to my wife, and perhaps some of you other husbands struggled through the process and are literally waiting to the last minute to purchase a gift for your beloved wife, the mother of your children. It happens to be one of the most difficult things that a husband can do. Most men, the primary person that they purchase gifts for is their wife, the mother of their children, and it happens to be one of the most stressful experiences ever. Many men have experienced the very frigid temperatures for a long time after giving their spouse a gift. Now, I am no expert. However, I am a veteran of some of these battles, and if you are in this room and before you hit submit on the online gift card you're looking to purchase, I want to share with you a few things not to buy your wife, okay? The mother of your children. So I have a small list that I found works out for me and I think will be helpful for you. First of all, don't buy anything that plugs in. If you do that, if it requires electricity, it's utilitarian. She doesn't want it. Number two, don't buy clothing that involves sizes. Chances are 1 in 10,049 that you will actually get it correct. If you purchase something that is too large, she will question, do I look that large? If you purchase something that is too small, she will question, I haven't been that size since I was 12. So avoid clothing that has sizes on it. Blankets, one size fits all. Avoid anything useful. Just because the late night advertisement says it will save you hours on polishing your silverware, she does not want that. It will not earn you any brownie points. Number 4, do not purchase anything that involves weight loss or self-improvement. She will perceive that 6-month gym membership as a suggestion that she needs a 6-month gym membership. Number 5, don't buy jewelry. The jewelry she wants, you can't afford. The jewelry you can afford, she don't want. And finally, my last tip for you men, don't spend too much, because she will question, how can we possibly afford that? But don't spend too little, because how in the world is that all you think of her? Armed with this information, go forth, buy presents, good luck, enjoy the doghouse. There's an American poet from the late 1800s by the name of William Ross Wallace. He wrote a poem, which the name will come up, about mothers. He said, "Blessings on the hand of women. Angels guard its strength and grace." And then there's a few stanzas, and then the grand title of the poem, which he repeats many times. "The hand that rocks the cradle is the hand that rules the world." He's on to something there, because what he's getting at, I think, goes back to the heart of God. This idea that the home is not just 4 walls and a roof. The home is a living, breathing environment that shapes the souls of the people inside it. And somebody has to hold the vision for what the home is supposed to be. Somebody has to hold the blueprint. Now, when I think about blueprints, I love blueprints. I understand them. I know how to read them. I love construction projects. I'm actually very comfortable in that world. Some of you might be familiar that we're in the middle of a construction project right now. Actually, good news, we're past the middle of a construction project right now. Some pretty exciting things happening over the next few weeks. And if you came in this way to the church, leave that way and look at the new signs. They're chef's kiss. They're beautiful. You want to check that out. But I love blueprints. Give me a set of plans, give me a good crew, a lot of coffee, and I'm in it. I'm all in on this thing. But I'll tell you what, it takes a while to get blueprints finalized. It is no small thing. There's constant revisions, adjustments, some late nights working through it. Particularly in this building, it was a very long, very tedious, very painful process. And it was just as long, just as tedious, and just as painful as childbirth. So I know what you mothers went through in this. Yeah, maybe not. I'll walk that one back a little bit. Moms always have that one over us, right? It doesn't matter how bad the cold is. But what I love about blueprints is before a single nail is hammered, before the foundation has even been poured, before the walls go up, there's a plan. And then generally there's an image of what the finished thing is supposed to look like. And a good architect doesn't just react to problems as they come. They actually have thought it all the way through. They've already thought through the whole building, like where the doors will go, where the lights will go, how all the rooms will connect to each other. And I'm going to suggest to you this morning that God has given moms a spiritual blueprint for their homes. Not a floor plan with square footage and kitchen features, but a blueprint for what a Christian household is supposed to look and feel like and function. And moms, you're the architects. You're the ones that bring it to fruition. Now, I know some of you feel like maybe you're not that mom. Maybe you feel like you're just one nap away from a complete collapse. And you know what? And I hear that, I understand that, I've seen it. But you're building something every single day, whether you feel it or not. Every word you speak, every meal you make, every prayer you pray over a sick child at 2 a.m, you're laying a brick. You're pouring a foundation. You're shaping a home. And today we're going to walk through 6 rooms, I believe, in God's blueprint for the Christian home. 6 things that a home should be. 6 ways that God has uniquely equipped moms to make it happen. And by the time we're done this morning, I hope that every mom in this room walks out not just feeling appreciated, but feeling called. Because what you do isn't just important, it's holy, it's righteous, and it's eternal. So we're going to build something together. The first thing is a Christian home should be a storm shelter. Children need security. Proverbs 14 tells us about the Lord. It says, the fear of the Lord, one has strong confidence, and the children will have a refuge. A refuge. It's a shelter word. It's a safety word. And the truth is, kids need safety. Not the kind of safety where nothing hard ever happens to them. That's not safety, that's bubble wrap. We're talking about the kind of safety that no matter what life throws at them, they know where they can run. They know whose arms are open for them. They know which door they can walk through and finally exhale. Isaiah 32 gives us a foreshadow of what Christ's reign is going to look like. And it says in verse 18, my people will abide in a peaceful habitation, in secure dwellings, and in quiet resting places. And I believe our home should reflect that kind of righteousness, creating security and comfort among our children. Not perfect, not conflict-free, not Instagram-ready at any time, but it's a secure, a settled home. A place where people know, where children know they are loved regardless of what kind of day they have, regardless of what kind of mess they're carrying in. A 4-year-old and a 6-year-old went to the store to buy their mother some flowers. And they're using their own money, so they got to pick it out on their own. And they brought the flowers home to Mom, and she was thrilled. But she was also a little confused. The older of the two children told her they saw the flowers and they thought of her because they were so pretty. And they had a ribbon on it that said, "Rest in peace." And they thought it was perfect because Mom's always asking for a little peace so she can rest. And see, the children, they're paying attention. They're on to something because Mom had been asking for peace and rest. And they went in and they bought their own thing. Moms deserve rest. Moms deserve peace. But moms, this is the role you play in the home. When the world gets loud and scary and confusing, and it absolutely will, the home is a place your children can run to. And when they get there, they find you, steady, grounded, grace-filled. And they come to you not because you have all the answers, but because you know the one who does. A storm is coming for every single one of our kids in one way, shape, form, or another. The question is, do they know where the shelter is? So moms, build it and keep the lights on. So it's going to be a storm shelter. And a Christian home should also be an emergency room. See, an emergency room is a place where broken things come to get healed. It's where people who are hurting can show up no matter what condition they're in, and somebody will take care of them. No appointment necessary, no judgment at the door, and you do not have to have it together to walk in. Every good emergency room has a doctor on call. In my home growing up, the doctor had a name, and her name was Dr. Sawbones. Anyone else? Okay, let me explain it to you. How about this? You scraped your knee. You go running through the door, and you come through the back door crying, because that's what little kids do. Dr. Sawbones is already on the way from the kitchen. She kneels down. She looks at the scrape very seriously, because this is a medical situation, and it requires her full professional attention. And then she says the words that every child dreads and somehow believes, "We're going to have to cut it off." Dr. Sawbones. Now, medically speaking, that was not an option. You had a scrape. It's a little scrape. You're going to be fine. But something in the way that Dr. Sawbones said it made you forget about all that pain for a second, and you had to process, all right, am I really going to lose a limb here? But then Mom blows on it. Maybe she takes that brown bottle out and pours that thing on it that makes all the bubbles come out, and you scream. Then she puts a bandage on it, and then she kisses it for good measure, sends you back outside, fully healed, completely restored, ready to get another scrape in 20 minutes and come right back in and do it all over again. That's the magic of Dr. Sawbones. Your doctor may have gone by a different name. They don't always have the clinical answers, but they have something better. They have presence. And they showed up. And somehow that was more than enough. Psalm 46 talks about our God. It says, God is our refuge and strength and a very present help in trouble, a very present help, not a distant help, not a I'll get to it eventually when I'm less busy kind of help, but a very present, reliable, available, right now kind of help. And that's what God is to us, and that's what a mom's home should be to her children. A mother has her emergency room open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And I don't think there's anyone better than a mom to demonstrate the comfort and the protection that is described in Psalm 23. He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. We're talking about restoration and comfort and presence, the very same things a mother provides. And that's what a Christian home is supposed to offer, a place where the soul can get restored. Now, here's the thing. The wounds of a child don't always stay small. The wounds grow with your kids. A scraped knee at 5 becomes a broken heart at 15. A bad day at school at 10 becomes a job loss at 25. See, the boo-boos get bigger. But the beautiful thing is Dr. Sawbones grows with them. The bandage becomes a conversation. The kiss on the knee becomes sitting up till midnight just listening. The remedies change, but the presence never changes. And moms, when you show up consistently, patiently, without an agenda, you keep doing this for your kids, you build in the belief that when they are wounded, and they will be wounded, there's a place they can come to fall apart. Falling apart in a safe place is the first step towards healing. And a mother's emergency room is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And the best part about it, no insurance required. Reflect Christ in your emergency room. Third, a Christian home should be a filling station. Now, this is an old-timey term for like gas stations. It's the place you pull over to when you're running on empty, and you don't just keep driving on fumes and hope for the best. You stop, you fill up, and then you get back on the road. It's a simple concept, but if you skip it, you end up stranded down the highway looking completely embarrassed. A Christian home should be a filling station for our kids, a place where they come home depleted and leave refueled. And that fuel is love and encouragement. It's being known, being celebrated, and being genuinely seen. This is where I want to look at Hannah's story. Hannah's story is recorded in 1 Samuel. Hannah is one of the most remarkable women in Scripture. She could not have children, and that grief nearly consumed her. But instead of giving up, she brought her pain straight to God. And I want you to see what she prayed, and it's recorded in 1:11. It says she vowed a vow and said, O Lord of hosts, if you will indeed look on the affliction of your servant and remember me and not forget your servant, but will give to me, your servant, a son, then I will give him to the Lord all the days of his life, and no razor shall touch his head. See, that's a mother's prayer before she even has a child. Before the child is born, she's already filling the tank. She's pouring in love and faith and dedication into a life that doesn't exist yet. And God heard her. Verse 20 records, and in due time Hannah conceived and bore a son, and she called his name Samuel, and she said, I have asked for him from the Lord. She named him after the prayer. Every time she called his name, she was remembering what God had done. Samuel asked of God. And there is no more beautiful name a mother could give her child than Samuel. See, that name is a filling station all by itself. And then this is the part that jumps out to me every time. This is where Hannah she's just spectacular. She kept her vow. When Samuel was weaned, she brought him to the temple. She stood before Eli the priest and said, "For this child I prayed, and the Lord has granted me my petition that I made to him. Therefore I have lent him to the Lord. As long as he lives, he is lent to the Lord." And he worshiped the Lord there. She gave back the very thing she had prayed for and wept for and waited for. See, most of us would have held on tight to that. But Hannah opened up her hands. But I want you to see, I don't want you to miss this, because she didn't just drop him off and wish him luck. Chapter 2, verse 19 tells us this. He said, "And his mother used to make for him a little robe and take it to him each year. And when she went up with her husband to offer the yearly sacrifice, every year a new robe, a little handmade garment that traveled across the distance, a garment that said, 'I see you. I'm still your mom. I'm still thinking about you. You are still on my mind, in my hands, and in my prayers.'" See, Hannah understood something very profound is you don't stop being a filling station just because your kids grow up and move on. The love does not stop. The investment does not stop. You just find new ways to pour in. See, she could not be with Samuel every day, but every year she showed up with something she had made with her own hands. And that robe was far more than clothing. It was fuel. How much greater love could a mother have for her children than to give them into the service of the Lord? And I believe that's the same thing we should expect of our mothers even today. I'm going to share with you a personal story about my mom because it's Mother's Day. I have a mic and you don't. My mom brought her filling station with her wherever she went. But it was probably never more evident than at our basketball games. She did something unique at all our games, and everyone knew it was her, and everyone knew who her children were. Now, as they're setting up the video right now, I'm going to tell you, I only called my siblings. I didn't prompt them for anything. And the first voice you're going to hear is my brother-in-law, Adam. He grew up with our family. He was around us all the time. I've said it once. I'll say it again. He married my sister so he could be a part of our family. He took the bullet. It's all good. But in here, I want you to hear my mom's filling station. Go ahead and play it. Hey, Adam. How you doing?
Good, Sam. How are you?
Doing well. Do you remember my mom during basketball games?
Sure, yeah, I think so.
Do you by chance happen to remember what she would do anytime one of her kids scored?
Yeah, I think one of those moments comes to mind.
Do you can you tell me or show me or let me hear what she would do?
Woohoo! Yeah.
Hey, Sissy, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing all right. Hey, we're talking about moms. Do you remember Mom when she would come to our basketball games?
Yeah?
Do you remember what she would do when one of us would score?
Yeah, she'd scream.
Do you know what that sounded like?
Woohoo!
I think I had a little more gusto. Can you give me more gusto?
Woohoo!
That was it. Was anyone else in the room making that sound at that time?
No.
Yeah. It was very clear which kid scored. Is that right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it was right. Hey, Sean, do you remember Mom would come to our basketball games?
Yes, she would. She would make herself known.
Do you remember what Mom would do whenever one of us would score?
Yahoo!
And when she would do that, what was so special about it?
You knew right where she was.
And would she do that for anyone else?
No.
Who would she do it for?
Just us.
Just us. Hey, Seth. Hey, you remember when Mom used to come to our basketball games?
Oh, yeah, obviously. Absolutely.
Do you remember that sound she'd make after you score?
Oh, it's an unforgettable sound. I would never forget that.
What was it like?
It was something like, woohoo!
And she was, would you say she was the only one that was making that sound?
I would say she was the only person who would ever make that sound.
Hi, Dad. I want to ask you a couple questions about Mom.
Okay.
Remember in the day, Mom would come to our basketball games.
Yep.
And our mother became famous for a certain act that she would do. Do you remember what that was?
Nice little war hoop. Oh, basically whenever any one of her kids did something, whatever almost, it was scoring points or a good pass, whatever, that it resulted in something good.
Now, do you remember what this sounded like?
Well, I can't mimic it because I'm no good at it, but it was a high, shrill yes or a scream Yahoo.
And why did she do that?
She was supporting her kids. I mean, that was just natural for her. Got her excited to see her kids do well.
Now, what was your war cry?
I didn't really have a war cry. I just yell at the refs.
Moms don't care what other people think about their affection for their children, right? It is a beautiful thing. If you spend enough time with Joyce in my house, you'll hear terms like honey and baby, little one, big one, lovey, oh, my baby. And then the new one that's popping up a lot, oh, pumpkin. Pumpkin with an N. It's not even spelled properly. If it wasn't for me, my children would have no idea what their names were. Moms, they just have a special way about them. And my mom had a way of making me play harder, to work harder, because I knew what would come if I succeeded at something. And I remember the first time my mom came to one of my college games. Now, when I was in high school, I was decent, but I was a late bloomer. College, I really exploded as far as skills are concerned. And I remember the first game she was coming to, I scored 40 points. She couldn't talk for a week. It was a win-win. It was beautiful. But the wonderful thing is, even if I didn't play well, she was there for me after the game, always encouraging me. Moms, eventually your kids are going to leave the house. They're going to leave the house every day running on whatever you put in their tank. So what are you filling them with? Is it affirmations? Is it scriptures? Are you filling them with the knowledge that they are loved by God and loved by you? Or are they leaving on fumes, looking for something somewhere else that they should have found at home? So fill the tank. Every day, fill the tank. Now, a Christian home should be a schoolhouse. Now, a lot of you moms probably don't even realize how many lessons you have been teaching your children. Some of the things that moms teach are amazing and get us through life. Like they teach us all about logic. If everyone else jumped off a cliff, would you do it too? They teach us about medicine. If you don't stop crossing your eyes, they're going to stay that way. They teach us about how to become an adult. If you don't eat your vegetables, you'll never grow up. Moms are very good at zoology. In fact, they'll step into your room and they'll say, this room is a pigsty. They teach us about genetics. You are just like your father. They show us our roots. Do you think you were born in a barn? They know a whole lot about finances. Do you think money grows on? And then they have foresight. Make sure you wear clean underwear in case you're in an accident. I never got this one. Because when you get in an accident, how clean? I mean, really. Moms teach us about patience. Just wait till your father gets home. Spent a few moments of my life waiting for that. They also teach us about justice. One day you'll have kids, and I hope they turn out just like you. They're very good at logic. You ask why? Because I said so. They're very good at irony. Stop crying or I'll give you something to cry about. And then the circle of life. I brought you into this world, and I can take you out. See, moms, you might not be able to teach math or science or geography, but you are providing the most important education your children can ever receive, the kind that does not come from a textbook. Proverbs 6 says, my son, keep your father's commandments and forsake not your mother's teachings. Bind them on your heart always. Tie them around your neck. When you walk, they will lead you. When you lie down, they will watch over you. And when you awake, they will talk with you. For the commandment is a lamp, and a teaching a light, and the reproofs of discipline are the way of life. See, mom's teachings are like a lamp. Their instruction is like a light. It's not just background noise. It's the thing that guides your steps when everything around you is dark. Proverbs 22:6, it's a verse that every parent has probably memorized or clung to at 3 a.m. in the morning. Train up a child in the way he should go. Even when he is old, he will not depart from it. Be consistent. Just stay after it. A mom was out walking with her 4-year-old daughter when she picked up something off the ground and started to put it in her mouth. She immediately took the item away from her and asked her, don't do that. The daughter said, like every 4-year-old, why? The mom said, because it's been lying outside. You don't know where it's been. It's dirty. It probably has germs. At this point, the daughter looks at her mother with total admiration. How do you know all this stuff? The mom responds, well, all moms know this stuff. It's on the mommy test. You have to know it, or they don't let you become a mommy. So they kept walking for a few minutes, and the daughter, it dawned on her. She said, oh, I get it. So if you don't pass the test, you get to become a daddy? A lot of truth in that one. See, all these sayings that we went over, like there's some elements to it. They're much more than sayings. Like moms teach us about living. A mom teaches about integrity, what integrity looks like when a mom keeps her word even when it costs her something. A mom teaches generosity when she gives sacrificially. A mom teaches what it means to trust God when she prays through hard things out loud in front of her kids instead of hiding it like it's something to be ashamed of. See, the schoolhouse here it's not a classroom with desks and chalkboards. The schoolhouse is the whole house. It's the dinner table. It's the car, the grocery store, the bedside. And with mom, school or class is always in session. Next, a Christian home should be a Dave & Buster's. Now, some of you are trying to figure out, like, how in the world do we do Dave & Buster's in the sermon and stuff like that? I'll make it work. Give me a minute. For those of you that don't know what Dave & Buster's is, it's like a really grown-up, fun Chuck E. Cheese with better pizza. It's a place where adults and kids, they can go and they can eat too much food, play too many games, compete over something that doesn't matter, and get 255,000 tickets that have a street value of 40 cents. It's loud, it's chaotic, it's expensive, and it is one of the best times you'll have as a family together. Now, the question is, when's the last time your home felt like that? Listen to what Solomon said. Solomon, the wisest man outside of the Lord, walking this planet, Ecclesiastes 5. Behold, what I have seen to be good and fitting is to eat and drink and find enjoyment in all the toil with which one toils under the sun, the few days of his life that God has given him. For this is his lot. Everyone also to whom God has given wealth and possessions and power to enjoy them and to accept his lot and rejoice in his toil. This is a gift of God. For he will not much remember the days of his life because God keeps him occupied with joy in his heart. Solomon, full of wisdom, looked at the whole sweeping human existence and said this: enjoyment is a gift. Laughter is not frivolous. Joy is not a distraction from real life. It is real life. 1 Corinthians reminds us of whether you eat or drink, whatever you do all to the glory of God. That includes board game nights. See, in my house, we frequently have what is known as forced family fun. It's a term that we adopted from my sister-in-law. And we'll play cheesy board games, cheesy card games. When my two boys were young, they would gang up with their mother and try to beat me. Now that they're older, they don't need their mom to beat me. But in the house, listen to music. Dance, laugh, watch a silly movie, eat popcorn, make a mess, have fun. Have forced family fun. Have a game night where the kids groan when you announce it, but I'm telling you, 2 hours later, they'll be crying from laughter. It's forced family fun. It's a road trip where everyone argues about the music for the first 30 minutes and then somehow starts singing it all together afterwards. It's the family tradition that somehow mortifies a 15-year-old, but becomes a sacred memory by the time they're 30, and they're trying to replicate the same thing. Here's the secret I want to let you in on. Some of the most powerful moments your kids will carry for the rest of their lives are going to come out of these forced family fun moments. Silly moments, ridiculous moments, the moments when everybody was just present, everybody was just together, and nobody could remember what they were stressed about. And moms, you are the architects of these moments. You're the ones that call everyone together from their separate rooms and say, enough, we're going to gather around, we're going to be together. And even though some of the kids will roll their eyes at that, they'll tell their friends, my mom's being so extra. 20 years from now, they're going to be telling the stories to their kids with a smile, and they're going to be initiating forced family fun. Build a home where people laugh. A home where kids look forward to coming back. Build a home where the table is full of conversation and it's real and there's grace for the messy stuff. That's Dave and Buster's. And God is absolutely for it. Now, the last element in the Christian home is far and away the most important of the house. A Christian home should be a worship center. Now, I'm not just talking about hanging a cross on the wall and putting a devotional on the coffee table, though there's nothing wrong with those things, but I'm talking about a home where faith is in the atmosphere, where God is not just a Sunday thing, where worship is not just something you do between these walls on Sunday morning, where it happens at the dinner table, in the car, at the bedside at night. Worship in the home. There's a mom and she's cleaning her house and she's singing some good old gospel songs as she's working. And she begins singing, soon and very soon we are going to see the King. And then she's going on and she's just singing and her young child is in the next room and he begins singing along. But something was a little off. So she stopped to listen. And the little preschooler singing, soon and very soon we are going to Burger King. But sing. Our homes should be holy ground because God is there. And children should know that God is real because he's real to their parents. Timothy's mother, Eunice, was commended highly by Paul. In 2 Timothy, Paul writes, I am reminded of your sincere faith, a faith that dwelt first in your grandmother Lois and your mother Eunice, and now I'm sure dwells in you as well. See, faith that first dwelt in his grandmother, then in his mother, and then in him. You see that? It's all happening in that verse. Faith is passed down, not just taught, but lived out, transferred from Lois to Eunice to Timothy, 3 generations of genuine, sincere, active faith. And it didn't start at the temple, it started at home. Mothers, you must pass on to your children a faith to live by. Eunice raised Timothy to have a great faith in God despite the home being religiously divided. There's an old Spanish proverb that says, an ounce of mother is worth a pound of clergy. Rose Kennedy, the mother to John F. Kennedy, she's a woman who raised 9 children and navigated more grief and hardship than most of us will ever face. She was quoted in her book, Celebrating Mothers, a book of appreciation. She said, whenever I held my newborn babe in my arms, I used to think that what I did and what I said to him would have an influence, not only on him, but on everyone he meets, not for a day or a year, but for all time and for eternity. She said, what a challenge, what a joy. A profession, a vocation, a calling that demanded her best. See, moms, when you pray with your children, you're doing something eternal. When you open the Bible in front of them, not just send them to Sunday school, but you actually open it yourself, you are doing something eternal. When you let them see you worship, hear you pray, when they watch you trust God through the hard things, instead of holding it like something to be ashamed of, you are laying a foundation that will outlast anything else you ever build. Your home is the first church your children will ever attend. You'll be the first preacher that they ever hear. So make the home a house of worship. So before I close today, I want to speak directly to the moms that are in this room, not to the dads, not to any of the kids. You're welcome to keep listening. It would be awkward if you left now. But I want to speak specifically to the moms. Proverbs 31:25, strength and dignity are her clothing, and she laughs at the time to come. Strength, dignity, laughter at the future. Not anxiety about the future, not a dread of the future, but laughter because she knows who holds it. Psalm 127, unless the Lord builds the house, those who build it labor in vain. Unless the Lord watches over the city, the watchman stays awake in vain. And this is one of the most humbling and most freeing verses that we can look at. Humbling because it reminds us that we can't build anything of value on our own. But it's freeing because we don't have to. You're not the architect working alone. God is the master builder, and mom, you are his co-laborer. And he has promised to show up at the job site every single day. So here's what I want to say to the young moms. To the ones who feel like you're failing, you're not failing. I know the baby's crying, the toddler is currently drawing on something they're not supposed to be drawing on. You can't remember the last time you got more than 4 hours of sleep in a row. You're typing into Google, is this normal, 47 times a day. You're not failing, you're building. It's one brick at a time, one day at a time. And God sees every single thing you are doing, including the things that no one else notices. So to the young mom, I say, keep going. To the moms who are in the thick of it, you got the tweens, the teenagers, the kids that know way more than you do. You got the carpools, the schedules, you got the emotional roller coaster that comes out of nowhere. You're the backbone of something beautiful. Even when your kids do not say thank you, even when it feels like nothing is getting through to them, even when you go to bed wondering if any of this is making any difference, it is. Galatians 6 reminds us, let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up. So moms in the thick of it, don't give up. To the empty nester moms, your work is not finished. Your children might have left the house, but you have not retired from being their mom. Your prayers are still moving things. Your calls still matter. Like Hannah's little robe delivered year after year across great distance, your presence in their lives still matters more than you will ever know. So empty nester moms, keep showing up. To the grandmothers in the room, we haven't forgotten about you. Remember earlier we talked about Lois, Timothy's grandmother, who planted a faith so deep that it grew through her daughter Eunice, all the way into the life of one of the greatest ministers in the New Testament. You might not be raising children anymore, but you are still shaping them. Your presence, your prayers, your example are still going on. And the blueprint you laid is still being built upon. So, grandmas, please do not underestimate what God is still doing through you. To the women in this room who long to be moms, who have prayed that prayer, who have cried that cry of Hannah, who have sat in a doctor's room and received news that broke something inside of you. You need to know that your desire is not invisible to God. He sees it and He honors it. And the love you carry for a child that you have not held or may never hold in the way that you imagine, that is real and it is holy. And you are not forgotten. You are not less than. And on a day like today, when the world is celebrating something that feels just out of your reach, this home, this church has space for your heartache. You are loved here. You are seen. And God is not finished writing your story. To the moms who are struggling today, the moms that came in here carrying grief or regret or loneliness, the moms that are doing this without a partner, the moms who are estranged from a child, the moms who have made mistakes and you're carrying the weight of that quietly, God's grace covers every gap. Every place where you fell short, His mercy is sufficient. You are not disqualified from this calling. You are invited back to it today. And I would encourage you to step into action, to be specific. Pick a room. Everyone, pick a room from today's sermon, just one, and this week be intentional about building into it. Maybe it's a storm shelter and you want to tell your kids clearly that your home is safe and it's a place that they can always come to. Maybe it's being a filling station. You're gonna fill your children's tank this week with specific, genuine, righteous encouragement that they did not expect. But definitely, maybe make your home a worship center this week. Pray out loud in front of your kids, even if it feels awkward at first, because it will feel awkward. But the beautiful thing is, the awkward will become sacred faster than you think. Proverbs 31 reminds us that for you, Mom, strength and dignity are your clothing, and you get to laugh at the time to come. Not because life is easy, but because God is faithful, and you know who holds the blueprint. So as I wrap up today, I want to say a very special prayer specifically over the moms in this room today, and you might be watching online. And I'm going to ask you in a moment, as I pray, to stand up, Mom. And if you're here with your mom, wrap your arms around her, grab her hand, lean into her, and you're going to pray with me. So I would ask right now, moms, mothers, if you can please stand up. And if you're here with Mom, stand with her to support her. And we're going to pray. Father, thank you, Lord. Thank you for the gift of mothers. Thank you for every woman in this room who has poured herself out day after day, year after year for the children and the family that you have placed in their care. God, you see every sleepless night. You see every prayer that is whispered over a child's bed. You see every sacrifice that was made quietly, without applause, without recognition, without anyone saying thank you. You are not unaware of a single one of them. Lord, I want to pray especially for the young moms today. Give them energy when they're running on empty. Give them wisdom when they don't know what to do. God, give them peace when the weight of it all feels like too much. Remind them you have called them to this. And because of that, you will equip them for every single moment. God, I pray for the moms that are in the thick of it, the ones that are holding so many things at once, the ones who gave everything they had this last week and still feel like it wasn't enough. Strengthen their grip, Lord. Let them see the fruit of what they're planting, even if it hasn't broken ground yet. Let them not grow weary of doing good for their family. Lord, I want to pray for the empty nester moms to remind them that their influence does not have an expiration date. Their prayers are still powerful. Their love is still being felt across whatever distance separates them from their children. Lord, encourage them to keep going. And Lord, for the women in this room who are desiring to be moms, the ones who today is not just a celebration, but also a heartache. Lord, we need you to meet them in a tender place, Father. Remind them that you see their desire. You hold their heartache. Your love is not conditional on the family that they have or are not able to build. Lord, comfort them in a way that only you can. And Lord, the moms that are hurting today, the ones that are carrying grief, the ones who came in here feeling unseen, unappreciated, or disqualified, meet them here, now. Help them to lean into Proverbs 31. Remind them that they have strength and dignity as their clothing. They are seen, they are valued, they are deeply, unconditionally loved by a God who does not measure them by their worst day or their hardest season. God, every family represented in this room, encourage them to build according to your blueprint. Unless you build the house, Lord, we labor in vain. So we ask you to build it. Build it with your hands through ours. For your glory, for the generations who are watching us right now, and for the generations that we have not even yet met. In your great holy name we pray. Amen.